One of the most disappointing teams in 2022 was Ferrari, no question about it. The Maranello team went from championship contender to fighting for the P2 spot in both championships. That is never allowed to happen to a team with such a reputation, and when it does, rest assured that the drivers will have a lot to say. Recent developments say that the team is going to rebuild from the inside, but it seems like the train of trust left the station a long time ago. Leclerc is unhappy with how the team operates, and things could spiral out of control, forcing him to leave Ferrari for Mercedes in the future. With him and Binotto not being on speaking terms, this isn't a very far-fetched scenario. So, could we expect some profound shifts in Ferrari starting next season? There's a lot to cover in this video, so we'll go step by step. Let's start with Ferrari's 2022 season and why there are potential uprisings by the drivers, particularly Charles Leclerc. After the first 3 races, Leclerc had a dominant 46-point lead over Verstappen. The Maranello team was labeled as the one to win it all in 2022, and quite frankly, even Red Bull fans were happy to see Leclerc win some after the troublesome years he's had in Ferrari. Every F1 fan was happy with the outcome, but Ferrari being Ferrari, they found a way to mess up their own success and drown in their own failure. Lots of reliability issues, miscommunications, and tactic blunders were the main reasons that Leclerc went from a championship contender to cheering up for winning P2 in the last race of the season. Let's remember what happened in Monaco, when Leclerc was called to the pit too late and Sainz was already inside, so the double stack was a total failure. Let's also remember what happened in Silverstone, where Leclerc was left out as a sitting duck on old tires, losing from P1 to P4 when Verstappen had a damage limitation race and finished P7. This was the race in which the infamous photo of Binotto pointing his finger at Leclerc and requesting that he not speak to the media about the tactic blunder surfaced online. Also, there are lots of reports of Leclerc and Binotto not being on speaking terms after this particular race, and quite frankly, Leclerc does have a massive point in this situation. But the situation has spiraled to a point where Ferrari needs to rebuild their entire team. It could start with Binotto as well, but even if he doesn't get sacked from the team in 2023, there is no doubt that the tacticians in the team need to go. They are the ones that cost Leclerc a lot of points in the 2022 season. Just remember what happened in Brazil. Leclerc was the only driver on intermediate tires because they believed that there was heavy rain in turn 12. On top of that, they tried to call him to enter the pit lane after he had already passed the entrance. So, what do you need to know so far? Number 1, Ferrari has a huge problem when it comes to reliability issues and shot calling. And number 2, Leclerc for one isn't happy with how things currently stand in the team. Therefore, this could mean 2 things. The first option is for the team to opt out of changing the team's entire structure, which would be the more logical solution given that they now have a driver capable of winning championships. The second one would be, the team stays with the same structure, but Leclerc is the one having to leave the team after his contract ends in 2024. These 2 scenarios will be our main points in the remainder of the video, so make sure to continue watching. Let's start with the first point. The team is changing its entire structure. What goes along with this narrative is the fact that Leclerc has shown that he has the potential to win races and potentially championships at some point in his career. And if you let go of this driver, rest assured that he'll win at least one in a competitive team. One competitive team that has expressed their interest in Leclerc is Mercedes, but we'll get to that later in this video. Now, when you have Leclerc in your team, one of the few drivers that is able to put up a fight with Verstappen on a couple of occasions in 2022, rest assured that you have to support him. This is not what Ferrari did in 2022, as they always asked questions and weren't sure of their tactics. Just remember Budapest, when everybody was able to witness that the hard compound tire wasn't working well on the Alpine cars, but for some reason, Ferrari decided that this tire would be perfect for Leclerc. The Monegasque got passed by Verstappen and lost position to Perez as well, after starting P2 in the race and being P1 at one point. According to one well-known Italian report, Ferrari is dissatisfied with Binotto's return to Italy, and there is a good chance that he will be replaced in 2023. When talking about this matter, Turini said, "Change is not a guarantee of victory. Red Bull is behind and our Ferrari still loses anyway." John Elkann will surely point out to Mattia Binotto the 1-2 finish of Mercedes in Brazil. There are a lot of discussions, and it is inevitable to be so. The World Championship has been missing from Ferrari for too long. But that would be a mistake. Why? Since 2008, Ferrari has passed from Jean Todt to Stefano Domenicali, from Marco Mattiacci to Maurizio Arrivabene. The results? 0 titoli, to put it as Jose Mourinho. Although Turini thinks that the team will make a mistake by replacing Binotto, where there's smoke, there's fire. The team has also denied these rumors, stating that Binotto's place is at Ferrari and that he will remain here in the future, which leads us to consider 2 scenarios. The first one being a whole replacement of the tactic team, and the other one being Leclerc leaving the team. While the second scenario appears to be a bit unrealistic, we could see a tectonic shift in Ferrari and Mercedes beginning in 2025. One thing is for sure, Leclerc isn't happy with Binotto and how he is leading the team, and when your star driver doesn't get along with the team principal, he could either be demoted to the number 2 guy on the team or leave the team if he doesn't like the situation. Obviously, Binotto has the support of Ferrari. The team released an official statement calling all the rumors about replacing Binotto unfounded. So, this brings us to our next point. Leclerc to Mercedes? As of now, everything is rumored, and Leclerc has a contract with Tifosi until 2024. Still, that doesn't inhibit us from thinking that the Monegasque is now aware that he has championship talent in him. All he needs is a competitive car. And that doesn't take away the fact that Ferrari was everything but a competitive car for the majority of the 2022 season. Leclerc was able to win just 3 races this season after racking up 9 pole positions. The win from pole conversion is really poor, just 33%. Charles Leclerc was asked by L'Equipe about the rumors that were linking him to a seat in Mercedes in 2024, and it goes without saying that Leclerc initially denied everything. 2024 is a long time away, and there is still time left at Ferrari. Being at this team has always been my dream. My objective at the moment is to win with Ferrari, and then we'll see. But paying attention to the last sentence, if Leclerc is unable to win with Ferrari, which we doubt given the engine freeze and Ferrari's struggles with engine reliability, he will be forced to retire. With the budget cap in place, Ferrari will find it hard to improve the performance of their engine, something that Red Bull was able to complete in the early stages of the season and Mercedes in the latter ones. Earlier in the 2021 season, Leclerc extended his contract with Ferrari in 2024, and it was reported that he would extend the contract with the Maranello team until 2026 later that year. However, this didn't happen, and given the disappointing campaign that Ferrari had in 2022 after winning the first 2 out of 3 races, it goes without saying that Leclerc will definitely look into his options after the contract with Ferrari is gone. Toto Wolff spoke about Leclerc back in 2020, saying that he wouldn't mind poaching him from Ferrari if the opportunity ever arises. With Hamilton's career being in sunset mode, rest assured that the Silver Arrows will look deeper into hiring Leclerc, especially if the 2023 and 2024 seasons turn out to be Mercedes' favored compared to Ferrari. On top of that, Ferrari isn't ready to let go of Binotto, given the fact that he brought the team to the winning tracks in 2022, something that was asked of him back in 2019 when he was brought to the team's principal place. Of course, Ferrari can always hope for and bet on the loyalty of Leclerc, but that isn't an infinite resource to bet on. Leclerc's frustrations are growing fast, and this could eventually mean that Ferrari will lose their best shot at the championship in the following years. As we mentioned earlier, the upcoming years will be make or break ones for Ferrari, especially now that Binotto is under pressure to perform better. Will we see Leclerc move from Ferrari to one of their biggest rivals in 2025? It could be done, no doubt about it. He would have to replace Hamilton. And although the Brit has reportedly committed to 5 more years with the team, he would be more than happy to leave his spot to Leclerc. What do you think about this whole situation? Would you switch teams if you were Leclerc? And do you think it's finally coming home to Maranello in 2023, or will Ferrari find a way to mess it up again? Let us know in the comments below.